You can use mappings to describe relationships between sets of numbers. A relation is a set of pairs of input and output values. You can represent a relation in 4 different ways. Take note, key concept, 4 ways to represent relations. First, you can represent them as ordered pairs, so in parentheses, an input value separated from an output value by a comma. So we see x, y, -3, 4, and so on. Ordered pairs. To the right, a mapping diagram. We see input values on the left, -3, 3, and 4, and output values on the right, 4, -1, and 3, and then arrows to represent the relations or the pairings of these numbers. Note -3 is related to 4, 3 is related to -1, and 4 is related to both -1 and 3. At the bottom left, a table of values. The left-hand column, x's or input values, the same ones from above, and on the right-hand side, the y values that are associated with or related with those inputs. And finally, the 4th way, a graph. We see here discrete points, so not connected or continuous, at x values and y values. First, an x of -3 goes with a y value of 4, and that point at the top left of the graph in quadrant 2. To the right, we have 3, -1, 4, -1, and also the point 4, 3. Problem 1. Representing a relation. Skydiving. When skydivers jump out of an airplane, they experience free fall. The photos show various heights of a skydiver at different times during free fall. Ignoring air resistance, how can you represent this relation in 4 different ways? Well, we need to look around. We find a call out there, 0 seconds, 10,000 feet. So at the point where the skydiver jumped out, looks like they were 10,000 feet above the ground. After 4 seconds, they were at a height of 9,744 feet. After 8 seconds, 8,976 feet. 12 seconds, 7,696 feet. And our last image, 16 seconds, they were 5,904 feet above the ground. Well, we can represent this as ordered pairs, pairing the times with the heights in parentheses separated by a comma. As a mapping diagram with inputs listed in the left-hand column, outputs on the right, and arrows to represent the pairings. As a table of values with times on the left and their corresponding heights on the right. And finally, as a graph with time as our x value or our horizontal axis and heights represented along our vertical or y-axis. Your turn. The monthly average water temperature of the Gulf of Mexico and Key West, Florida varies during the year. In January, the average water temperature is 69 degrees Fahrenheit. In February, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. In March, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And finally, in April, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. How can you represent this relation in 4 different ways?